What about using VR in the woodworking shop?
Oh man!
Could the new technology help us become better woodworkers? Well, we're about to find out. And will I succeed in making a piece of furniture with the headset on all throughout the project? And can I finally end it by making some custom solutions that IKEA could never make? This video is sponsored by PCBWay. I see a future where people are just disconnected from the real world, walking around with these crazy looking headsets, experiencing something that isn't true. You can hear I'm a skeptic. But as the skeptic I am, I wanted to try this out, so I started researching. I needed a VR headset. Obviously, the Apple Vision Pro seems like a really good option, but not available in Sweden unless I wanted to pay double the price. I didn't really want to pay the original price, to be honest. So I finally settled on the second option I ran into, the MetaQuest 3. It was certainly not cheap, but I could have bought a couple of them for the price of the Apple Vision Pros. The MetaQuest 3 though have a feature called pass-through, which means I can still see the real world around me, but I can include cool AR features. AR stands for augmented reality and is available on your phone already. You can actually download the project I'm building today and see it in real life in your home. More about that later. As I was waiting for the package though, I decided to plan ahead, and I started making a drawing of a piece I wanted to build with the VR headset on me in mind. And coming up with ideas isn't easy. I went through a couple of ideas until I settled on one that would be easy enough to make using the headset but still solves a huge problem in my life. So I also decided to set up a couple of rules for myself. I have to wear the headset for all of the woodworking project, no matter how dumb the task might seem. I can't take it off. I can't use any other technology than the headset once the project starts, which means I can't go back to the computer to check my drawings or ask ChatGPT anything. And finally, if I don't finish the project with the headset, I will be sending it back. But that would devastate my kids because they absolutely love this thing. The delivery guy finally showed up and I was ready to try it out. Okay, so this is it. Tomorrow I will start my woodworking project, so today I'll spend some time getting accustomed to these. Wow, okay, so... okay. What do we do here? After a bit of a learning curve with the weird shaped controllers, I slowly started to get a hang of it. I was riding roller coasters. Oh, hey! Hello. Hey! No. Why would you do that? Why? Oh, no. No. Oh, no. No. Jesus Christ. I'm losing balance with this crap. Which made me feel sick, by the way. Jesus I played table tennis with a cat.
Cheating. You cheating cat. Take that, you cat.
I was killing zombies.
What's going on? Come on, die!
Or to be honest, they were killing me. And I was researching what apps I could use for woodworking. And to tell you the truth, that wasn't the easiest. But in the end, I found a couple that I could get that would help me out. Or so I thought. Just a tiny disclaimer, I know this is stupid, but you're watching a YouTube video and a bunch of stuff are stupid on this platform, so just get with it. And it's stupid but fun. At this point, I was kind of concerned with the sharp tools and the accuracy of this thing. Because I'm not seeing through the headset, I'm seeing what the cameras on the headset are showing me. As you can see, there's a lot of delay going on here. Not a lot, it's pretty impressive, but catching things is harder than it looks. and that made it feel like there was a risk of cutting my hands off. Okay, day one, I'm ready to go. I've got the VR headset charged. I bought an additional battery pack that will give me an additional 2 hours. So I guess I will have until lunchtime on me to start working on this thing. And the first task is to cut this oak veneered plywood to size. So let's get started. Everything's just appearing a bit warped. Also, I wish I had a cameraman for this, because this is not easy. I mean, you could see what I'm seeing, which is weird. It's warped. It's definitely making me nauseous. So the idea, because the veneer is always a bit shitty towards the ends, I'm just gonna, I'll have to do it like this, I suppose. So I started cutting up sheets using the track saw and things were moving along. I was feeling a bit nauseous, mostly because the world kept getting skewed. It was kind of like watching someone else do it, like I was in a video game woodworking, which I kind of was. Only it was real tools that could cut my fingers off. But going back to the PDF viewer to see my progress, cutting up more and more of the needed sheets actually didn't take that long, and eventually I could take my freshly cut plywood and trim it down to the correct size on the table saw. But that's when things got really scary. It's like my blade is wonky, but it's tightened. Look at the blade. Okay, let's start, just do it. That was scary as hell. It was only scary for a while, because soon I realized it was kind of like using the table saw as usual. I started trusting the headset cameras to be quite accurate. I kind of knew though early on that this wasn't just stupid. This would be one of the toughest projects I would ever make, because working with the headset on, it was not just comfortable at all. It has a lot of issues. It's really hard to see what you're doing, and also doing it whilst half nauseous does not make anything better. But I was determined to see this through. I even tried an app that gave me measurements all within the app, but only in centimeters, and the dot for the start and stop position was quite big. And here's where the troubles came in. It was really hard reading the numbers on the scale of the table saw. So I used rulers and all sorts to get my measurements right, but it wasn't easy. It's like the cameras wouldn't really focus where I wanted them to. And that also led to straining my eyes. A lot. I really enjoyed the PDF viewer though, because I could just place my plans wherever and keep working and just look at them whenever I wanted. Since I was using plywood with veneer, I also had to edge band the edges. And I had accidentally bought 2mm thick edge banding, so I had to glue tape and clamp them. And when that was in glue, I did another crazy thing. Using the Shaper Origin. So this is kind of meta, no pun intended. I'm watching through what the cameras are watching through. I'll be looking at a screen that lets me cut on the wood. This is next level. So I want to cut a circle in the center of this, and then I want to cut another circle of the walnut to insert that as like the opening pin. I don't know if you can see this, but when I'm looking through on the screen, it's distorted, which makes me feel nauseous. But as I got started, it worked quite good doing the tasks in VR as well. I could see a future where you have the perfect see-through glasses, but could for instance bring up the plans. But looking through a set of cameras, it's a bit too far off. I finished the work with the shaper and had my drawer fronts and knobs made in a really weird way of woodworking. After getting rid of some of the excess edge veneer with the Japanese saw and the palm router, yes, the palm router wasn't my favorite tool to use without full visuals. It worked out good anyways, and I was ready to take a long-awaited break. Okay, so I've paused the thing, I'm officially taking a break, and it's so good to get the headset off. After a quick lunch break, the headset was charged and I was ready to continue my work. But this is when things would start getting really dangerous and hard. Before I do all the dangerous stuff, let's take a look at the project I have in mind. I'm actually trying to solve a big problem of mine. I really don't like the darkness, but unfortunately for me, my wife is the exact opposite. She can see a single light from my MacBook charger from a mile away. It's also like she's never really asleep. So, when I wake up early in the morning and want to get up, I'm clumsy like nothing else. I try to find my things on the nightstand and just end up knocking things over. So I have to go all ninja when getting out of bed. Long story for a project, but I'm basically remaking my nightstand. I'm making a nightstand optimized for my needs. And if the video ends here, it didn't go to plan. The really nice thing with the VR is that you can take a break sometimes and just look at a YouTube video or chill in the lounge. But that's enough chilling, let's go back to the making. I used the domino to be able to attach everything together. And after doing that, I could go on and glue the entire carcass of the nightstand up. Normally, glue up is a pain, but with the VR headset, it's even worse. So after some light, and I do mean light sanding because the veneer is extremely thin, I grabbed the glue and started gluing it up. I managed to do an entire glue up wearing the VR headset. Next was making the drawers, and I kept pushing the scariest part to the end. Because drawers are usually fairly easy, so what could possibly go wrong? Once again I had to cut plywood to size, so back outdoors with the track saw to cut some more ply. And this time around I was quicker. I also only needed a couple of pieces. I made the drawers the way I thought I was supposed to make them for the particular undermount drawer slides I had bought. I'm gonna cut the dado for the bottom panel, and so the sheets are 12 mil. So I want the blade to be 6 mil high. Is that correct, Mr. Bond? But here's the thing, I can do a lot of things, but for some reason I don't understand the instructions for undermount drawer slides. Not these ones either. So the mistake I made was making the drawers without the front 10 mm shorter than the actual slides, according to the instructions. But I didn't account for the front, and that made the drawers 9 mm longer than the actual slides. I managed to fix it, but the adjustments on them don't work correctly. And the annoying part, I've made the same mistake once before. I couldn't keep pushing the scariest tool anymore. I had to do it. It was time to mill some oak. And using the planer thicknesser with the headset was indeed scary and absolutely the worst tool imaginable. Or so I thought, but I still had to flush trim the legs for the nightstand. That would probably be even worse, because that would mean I would have to get really close to the spinning blade with my fingers. When it came to shaping the legs, I decided to use the Shaper Origin once again, since I'd already used it successfully once before. At this point I was absolutely sick of wearing the headset, and I was actually really close to taking it off and quitting. But then I thought of the third rule, that I would return it if I didn't succeed, and that made me think of the kids. I couldn't let them down like that. But honestly, that was the only thing that kept me going. I was certain this nightstand would look pretty awful. I was already hesitant to the design before I even started. But there was something about the allure of having something that was really practical. The router table is the worst tool I have, especially when it comes to flush trimming smaller items, like these legs. I don't like doing it. I've had my fair share of catches and wood flying out of my hands to know that anything can happen at any time. But it worked out. Actually turned out really good. After that, doing the rest of the pieces for the legs seemed like a breeze compared to the router table. And before I knew it, I had the leg part assembled, and all that remained was to attach the drawers and the drawer fronts, and I had an idea to solve the problem with the darkness in my favor.
Go Canada!
As previously mentioned, you can use AR on your phone. If you have an iPhone, it's already built in, and if you have an Android phone, I'm sorry, but you can also use AR, but you have to install an app like Adobe Aero. And then you simply open up the file and it will show up in augmented reality, and you can place the object wherever you plan on putting that piece of furniture. And if you want to try my particular nightstand, you can download the file through the link below. Okay, so before I attach the top to the base, I need to do some things to the base, because I have some 3D prints I want incorporated into this to solve all of those problems I mentioned. So the first thing is this small LED strip with a sensor on it, and that is going down here. I've 3D printed a small little base for it, so they can sit here. It's battery powered, so it doesn't need any cords. And then I need to route the LED strip around the inside of the base. And to do that, you all know the double-sided tape on these LED strips wears out. So I've 3D printed a bunch of clips so that I can attach the strip safely without it coming loose again. So I'm gonna do that now. The idea here is simple. I wake up early, I decide to get up to edit this video, and as I set my feet down on the floor, it lights up the path. But you said your wife can see a MacBook charger from a mile away. Yes, but the compromise here is that I trade the clumsy Pierre that knocks things down to the ninja Pierre that can get out silently and quickly. And the LEDs only light up for 20 seconds. Also, I'm not telling her about the lights. Oh, and the hole in the back, well, it's a cable out point with clips to hold the cable in place. Hey, it's me. Did you know that you can 3D print and CNC machine things without having a CNC or a 3D printer? Because you can use PCBWay. They're not only the sponsor of the video, they are amazing at helping you out. You can upload any file to their website for 3D printing or CNC machining, and they will make it and ship it to you. I know, it's great! And there's a link down below for a welcome bonus. Take it! Thanks, PCBWay. I have tried Gridfinity, it's good, and I bet there's a solution for my main issue, but when I download and print Gridfinity boxes for my drawers, they all end up in different heights. I don't like it. So I ended up making my own boxes for this nightstand instead. And I didn't go for a grid. Instead I used double-sided tape, and I just taped down my containers. I don't need to move them around, and if I do, I will be able to anyways. It's just one of those things that feels really good. Custom storage. I'm pretty confident this won't be my best build ever, but that's not always the point of making. Because there's one thing you can't buy at IKEA or any other store, a piece that is custom to your needs. So this might seem like a regular nightstand with a weird design, because it is. If I were to try and find a specific nightstand with a fence at the top, space to get underneath with the vacuum and push to open drawers, I would have to look really hard. And even if I found one, it wouldn't have a hole at the back for cables. But even then, it would probably have a back panel. Why? I certainly don't need a back panel. It's just a space for things to disappear. I'd rather have them easily found underneath the nightstand or be able to reach them by just moving the nightstand a bit. I mean, it's built for entertainment, and hopefully watching me make a fool of myself was half entertaining, but I couldn't really find any good use cases that would really make it easier woodworking in VR or AR.
What's that bright light?